I feel Neil deGrasse Tyson is quite arrogant. He has a very close-minded view on it. It's not a good argument to make. I find that dumb.
What is Neil deGrasse Tyson's take on this subject, the UFOs and all that? I know he's been a little bit critical about this subject. What do you think about that?
I feel Neil deGrasse Tyson is quite arrogant.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion. I know he's a really good explainer of things, but when it comes to this topic, I feel like he has a very close-minded view on it. One of the comment I remember he made is like, oh yeah, it's impossible for a government or any kind of a organization to keep such secret. Like, oh yeah, aliens are here, a secret for this long.
Do you ever
Neil, okay, hold
work
on.
for the government? Do you realize how incompetent the government actually is? Does anyone actually know this? That they could actually stockpile aliens and no one would know?
I find that dumb. It's not a good point. It's not a good argument to make. Why? There are like so many nuclear secrets which we would have never known. Like, okay, we all know that there is something called nuclear secret codes, launch codes, right? We all know that it exists. But has it leaked anytime?
Not that I know of.
Yeah. People have still kept it secret, right?
So what he's saying is, if UFO is real, if all these crashes are real, government would have got it out to the public. And
somehow it would have leaked is what he is claiming.
Okay.
But again, even if you just take a step back, right? Do you think like it hasn't been leaked? If
tons of times. All we talk about is the leaks that's happening for like a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So it has been leaked, but just to counter the point, there are a lot of secrets government and military can handle, which would never see the light of public view. So it is part of the military process where keeping secrets is their job. It's part of their job.
Right.
And they are perfectly capable of doing it. And a lot of time it is for the national security.
Yeah.
You don't want like information to just like be available for everyone, right? It's not what we want. But these topics, especially UFO topics, there have been multiple leaks. One of the most famous leak was the Wilson-Davis memo. It's quite an interesting topic. Maybe we should talk about that sometime, what exactly happened. But it's a memo which was sent to Admiral Wilson about, I believe it's about Roswell and some crash retrieval. So this was like a memo which got leaked, and it was also confirmed by several people that it is an actual written record. So it talks about all the UFO, Majestic 12, and so many other aspects of this UFO cover-up. So, and the other aspect is where there is a lot of disinformation also which has been injected, which makes it difficult. So that's the other thing, right? Like, and you have something called counterintelligence. So counterintelligence is something where this happens like this. People do, every other country does it. It's a way where you trying to understand what the enemy knows about you. So the way they also try to kind of overcome certain things is they won't deny any leaks. If a leak happens, they would just add more information to a leak, which could be false. So a truth by itself is useful, but a truth filled with a lot of lies with it is better. Like it's totally useless because you won't know what to take.
Right.
So even when some part of it is a lie, when people realize it, they will doubt the whole thing.
Correct.
So one of the best example is there was a time when people when they were testing out secret military aircrafts. Sometimes people used to wear gorilla masks as pilot.
Why is that?
It's so random, right? Why people have to wear gorilla mask when they are flying, right? Because say for some reason someone sees someone flying this secret aircraft. What they're gonna do? They record a video, or maybe they say what they saw. Hey, I saw plane, a secret aircraft flown by a gorilla.
Right.
So you make it like so ridiculous. It's hard for people to come out and understand anything
Right.
which you say.
Like-
So in general, there is misinformation, but which is also through a lot of leaks. So I completely disagree with the fact where it's never been a secret. It's been open, but the problem is people have to look for it.
Right. But since there is this strategy of deceiving people by adding misinformation to the actual information, people might just want to like ignore the whole topic and not believe it,
Yeah.
rather than going through the struggle of finding the truth. Right.
That's what makes it like so frustrating,
Yeah.
this topic, where it's like you try to go and search for information. There is so much of disinformation also associated to it. It's not easy for anyone
Exactly.
to just navigate. So in fact, like the way we started this channel was when we felt this pain, right? So
Yep.
we wanted to be a source where people can use to start their journey in this UFO topic.
Yep, exactly. That's what my first question. My first question to you was, why should I believe this? Right? What's in it for me? And why is it so hard for me to find the truth? I don't have all this time. So that's what we're trying to do with our channel, like you mentioned, like making it easy for our viewers so that they can get a head start on this journey. Cool. So let me ask a fun question. Let's talk about aliens, right? The beings. They look similar to us in terms of the anatomical structure, like 2 hands, 2 legs, at least some of the
You're just saying I look like an alien?
no, aliens look better. So they have like 1 head, 2 eyes,
Yeah.
mouth, or whatever. So why is that I don't see aliens, or movies have exaggerated the look of an alien, right? What do you think is making them similar to us in terms of the structure or physique?
We shouldn't be surprised that they look very similar to us, because think from this point of view. Say any form of intelligence, right? It needs some amount of dexterity.
What is dexterity?
You should be able to manipulate things around. We have opposable thumbs and we have these fingers which are like quite flexible for us to move things around. Even if you look at other primates, they have a certain bit of dexterity which has allowed them to make use of some of the tools which we also use, right? So tool usage would definitely be required for evolution progress towards more of an intelligent explosion to happen. So and the other thing is bipedalism, because if you're going to always walk on 4 legs, right? So again, you don't have your other motions to free up to do tools or other things, right? So bipedalism is one thing which makes us like walk upright. And the other thing is binocular vision, which is like having 2 eyes, because you need 2 eyes for a depth perception.
Right.
So if you need a 3D vision, you need to have 2 eyes
Okay.
for it to work. So I wouldn't say like it's surprising, because and other thing is like, as you see, right, our cranial size has increased as we have evolved. So that's another reason why women more and more undergo more difficulty giving birth. But compared to other primates, we are like we have quite a large head compared to what other beings have. And that's the other thing which you would notice with all these leaked photos about an alien or video. They have quite a significant head size when even compared to us, right? Like they have a huge head, and even their muscular structure is very may not be strong. They look like quite thin and fragile. So which makes sense, right? Like as you are gonna use more and more of your intellectual capacity, so the part of where fight and response, you don't need to have that. Right? So more of like, okay, you're gonna be using some form of other tools to do your job, and you don't need to be physically like too much of a fighter or kind of a structure.
You use your brain more than
exactly. So
muscles.
So that's one reason I would say, which is like quite significant when it comes.
Okay, that's Okay, that makes some sense. So, probably there are other worlds that aliens go and visit other worlds as well. But why are they interested in us? Why are they coming to Earth?
It's a difficult question. I would say we don't know, because we can't think from the perspective of alien. Sometimes even to think from the perspective of others around you, people struggle, right? Quite often.
Yeah.
And that's why we have so much of fight around. So to literally think as an alien, you have to be an alien, and because we don't know what is their ethics or what is their culture, what is their motive, what drives them, we don't know. So we can only speculate here. One thing is maybe they are just observing us. Maybe we are just like some lab animals for them. Maybe they're just like looking and going through a zoo of different species. Maybe we are still in an evolutionary stage which is interesting for them. Maybe there are some historians who are coming and like taking accounts of how these things, or maybe these things are just like using this as some hotel, coming and going, and they don't care us. Like we are just like some ant.
Right.
It's like you don't care about ants, and that's why like maybe they don't always directly interact. But some people do get interaction, which again begs the question of other theories. Maybe there are like so many theories we can speculate and things. Yeah, the short answer is we don't know why. But the other aspect is also, what if they are crypto-terrestrials? I think we spoke about this, where maybe they are the original people of this planet, and we are the aliens.
That's quite a possibility.
Maybe we are the latest intelligent form. Maybe we are not the apex beings here. So we are just sharing this planet with other beings. Because even if you think, right, like we use only maybe quite like 5% of land mass of the whole. Most of the Earth area is like oceans, which we haven't explored really well. So we don't know what exists out there, right? And
like we know more about the space than we know about the oceans of the Earth, right?
And there is a lot of observation which has happened where UFOs, which they call it as USOs, unidentified submersible objects, which go inside our oceans. So we don't know. Maybe they live there. Who knows?
We should do an episode on that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned interaction. You mentioned the word interaction between aliens and us. Maybe there is recorded evidence we have covered in some of our earlier episodes. Why is this interaction always not smooth, or why is that it's never a clean form of interaction? If an alien comes and talks to you, it'll be like a smooth form of interaction. You can have a conversation, try to record it. You see, there doesn't have to be so much of cover up, right? But all the interactions that have happened so far are not normal. It's like people get abducted, or they crash and they got into a lab took over by military, or it's always so much of drama or chaos around these interactions. Why isn't there a direct form of interaction between aliens and us?
Yeah, it could be as well as this, right? Let's take an example of comparison of humans.
Right.
Let's say we are the aliens, and honeybees. Honeybees are like humans. Sometimes we farm them, and sometimes they are in the wild, just going about their job, which is like collecting honey. And people randomly go and take a fire, disturb the whole honeycomb, and then basically they have no idea what is happening. Someone coming and stealing your whole food, and then like suddenly, or maybe there are times where like people move the honey comb. So the way they do is they take the queen bee.
Right.
They identify the queen bee, they move the queen bee, so all these other bees follow that scent. But they may not know what's happening, why it's happening. They go through, but they know like there is some change which is happening. And if they see an external person, okay, maybe their instinct is to go and sting them, which is also a suicide for them, by the way. They can only sting them once. So the part I'm saying is where it's a totally different species, right? Just because they look like humanoid doesn't mean we will be able to understand their agenda and their interaction is going to be in the same way as we are. Say, universe age is close to 14 billion years, and now like they are saying double the time. Maybe it's like 28 billion years.
Is it proven? Or
that's what the new data is coming. Yes, but still, I think we need to get more information. But it could be. But there could be another theory also where universe always existed. There is nothing like a Big Bang. So that's also one fringe theory which exists. So again, let's not go there. But the universe has had a lot of time for all of these different species could have been evolved. And imagine like the amount of progress we have had just in the past 100 years.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you go back 100 years before, try to interact with someone. You are going to be felt a little bit like alien. Say, go and show him a TikTok video.
Right.
They're going to look at you like crazy.
Yeah.
What the heck is this, right? Or maybe they'll look at you as a magician. So the interaction, you need to have some common ground to have an interaction.
Right. And you got to be on the similar timeline of events to be relatable to each other, right?
So these alien species, maybe they have like 100,000 years of technology evolution. It's both, right? Both technologically and also spiritually, people evolve, and culturally there is so many aspects which do all these aspects. So just we saying an alien is there. I know I'm a smart person, and I should just understand what they're saying. It's like becoming too arrogant. So that's why maybe the interaction hasn't been good. Maybe we are being used for something. Maybe they are not like, maybe call them as a good person. Maybe they are doing something which is malicious. Because no matter what, like even if we are saying, it's not like that harmful, these abductions are, but they are doing such things without permissions from these people, right? Like, so I don't think anyone gave them the written contract to do abductions unless there is a theory which says they have done a contract, they have signed a contract with a powerful government to say we can do so many abductions.
Okay, come on now.
What if the US government has signed a contract with aliens to allow abductions to happen? How will you kind of do it, right? What can you do?
Yeah, I have no words, literally. But there's a possibility that has happened.
Yeah, there is a high possibility.
It is crazy, it is wild. Not able to dismiss it and not able to believe it. See, that's where we are with this topic. And so, like, one last question. Evidences, photos, videos, articles, whatever it is. I've never seen a crystal clear photo or video of these aliens or UFOs or us capturing them or whatever it is. Why? Why is
We just have to look for it and stop being lazy.
Well, that doesn't answer the question, right?
Yeah. So the point is, there is even when we say abductions, right? It's not like just a psychological or mental thing people are experiencing. So there has been a lot of physical harm, and people who have had implants in them without any surgical marks. So which people have removed and then later found certain materials which are sometimes been normal material, and sometimes materials just like doesn't exist, and it's just like crazy aspects. There have been physical evidences too, and even sometimes when people have seen a UFO landing site. So the plants near the place where a UFO lands, it ages differently from the plant's other side. And sometimes you have radiation marks because again there is a thing about the time, space-time warpness, things around the area where the UFO landed. Vegetation has a pretty different marks. So we have talked about crop circles, animal mutilation. These are all like physical evidences which are there. And UFOs, videos and photos, there is abundance of information out there. It's like, say, even we spoke about this short video which we had put, which is directly from the US National Archive. We have a very good picture of a really good UFOs, like multiple UFOs pictures. I think that those are one of the best photos we can have. And I would suggest, like, even anyone can actually take UFO videos. I think we should talk about this, like how anyone can do this.
Okay.
So this was something I learned recently, where how all you need is a good thermal sensing camera, or like even a filter with your existing phone, or a good digital camera which has a very high frame rate.
Okay.
That's what it's, because these UFOs, they travel at a very high speed.
Okay.
It's like more than 20,000 miles or 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
They can just like go from here to moon in 5 minutes. So that's the
Okay.
kind of speed they can make.
Okay.
So these are like observed data based on observation. Some of the data which they have. So when things are moving in that speed, like you need to have a very high recording things.
Right,
And it is
right.
possible. It for people to record by themselves. You don't have to believe data which is, or like videos, anything which is out there. Just go and take your own picture, your own videos. It's out there.
Are they gonna let me know when they are coming, or how do I know?
So one of the thing people say is go to an air show.
Okay.
Looks like UFOs are interested in anything which is flying around.
These aliens have a lot of time on their hands. They come and go.
We don't know. Maybe it's all autonomous, because again, maybe not everything has to be a biological form.
True.
So there is something called a dragon UFO, which people call. These are like really small UFOs, which anytime you have an airplane, they kind of do. It's more like a tagging. So just to tag like what is out there, and you won't even notice that it's there.
Right.
But yeah, they do malfunction, I guess, like, or maybe they do directly interact. So there was even a case where a UFO crashed onto a running train.
Wow.
So yeah, it doesn't mean like UFOs cannot crash onto something. So it can happen.
Right,
That's
right.
why it's another thing which is important. Like people have
But
to
I thought
acknowledge.
to err is human. Now to err is alien also.
To error is reality or universe things. So yeah, one main thing what I would say is like, it's like, I don't know if you have seen this movie, Don't Look Up. I would say that's how most people are. How many times people have spent looking up and but you can't deny an existence of something without really looking for something.
Right.
So
Look up.
Yeah, look up. Don't just look down on yourself.
One last plug. So I've been binge watching this series on Netflix. It's called Resident Alien. It's really good.
Okay.
It gives you a perspective of the alien visiting Earth and trying to mingle with people on Earth and having a life on Earth.
Yeah.
It's a really good series. If you haven't watched it, you
I
should.
watched few episodes, but then I felt like it was boring, and then I just stopped. I feel like the reality is far more interesting than any of the fiction which we have.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like even if people are not interested or like doesn't want to know the reality, but if you enjoy any Netflix or any science fiction, I think you just will enjoy the reality.